Hello, all of you Vainglorious, wonderful people. This is the Albany Roosevelt Valor, and I'm about to find out if it'll off-road. This is the second most voted for vehicle this week, coming in with 14 votes. You can vote for the vehicle that you want to see by clicking on the link in the description down below. And we are here at our unofficial start line, or I guess it's really the official start line, and revving up the engine, and we're off up the mountain. I really do like the Albany Roosevelt Valor, especially that ooga ooga horn. I mean, how else would you describe that horn? Ooga ooga. This is a fantastic car. I mean, the first Albany Roosevelt was cool, but this one has a lot more customization options, which is also a lot more expensive. And I've had it, well, I've had this since they brought out the executive garages. It was featured in a garage tour video. Even made a cameo in a GTA Online news video back on Valentine's Day, I do believe. I think that's when I featured it. Can't really remember, honestly. But it's not a bad car. What is it? The Sports Classics class, I believe? Yeah, it has some decent speed for what it is. I mean, you can't expect too terribly much out of it. Though you have begun to see one of the problems already with the Roosevelt Valor. It's very, very top-heavy, so it likes to tip over. That makes it a bit of a liability when going up and down a mountain, as you'll see several times in this video. But as far as traction in the dirt, being able to keep the power actually down without the wheels spinning, it's doing all right, and it has enough power to keep it moving forward at a pretty decent clip. I mean, we've slowed down in a couple places, but nothing too bad. More than anything, I'm slowing down more for the turns and for some of the uneven bits because I don't want the thing to roll over on me. You can see that it keeps kicking up on two wheels, keeps wanting to come over. It has been a constant fight already to keep this thing just on the ground. Well, at least on all four wheels on the ground. Got a little bit slippery there. It started to lose grip for just a second, but the nice thing about this car is you can just let off the throttle and then gently get back on, and it's right back under control. So nothing too difficult to deal with. More than anything, just dealing with the tipsy nature of it. No, I don't mean it's been hitting that Prohibition era gin. It's just, it likes to tip over. Get it? Prohibition joke? Era? Yeah, you get it. And if you don't, well, Google Prohibition. Look up the era that this car would have come out in. Well, by then it won't be funny because you have to look it up. Anyway, this is actually turning into a really good time. We might see right at the 3-minute mark, which is really good. I mean, there's supercars that take about this long. So the fact that the Roosevelt's doing this well, color me shocked, honestly. I thought this would be really slow getting up the mountain, but no, it doesn't look like it's going to get the 3-minute mark, but probably right there by it. Oh, look at that. A ton of wheel spin, but right up the side of that rock. And we are up in 3 minutes, 3 seconds. Will it off-road? Yeah. Holy crap. And it looks good doing it. And it did really well. This has been a complete surprise to me. But, of course, we now have to take it back down Mount Chiliad to see how it does in a controlled descent. And that's where things can always get a little bit hairy, especially with some of the vehicles that have lesser braking power and tend to want to tip over. They can become a problem going downhill. You know, going uphill, the brakes don't really matter. You have gravity kind of slowing you down when you need to slow down. Ooh, already a big first jump there, unintended. Back end's kicking up a little bit now and then. Yeah, this is definitely bouncing all around. Trying to keep my speed down so that I don't have to slam on the brakes. They're not terrible brakes on the Valor, but they're not the best either. Kind of just average. Though it did get me slowed down quite well right there. But yeah, just look at it just bucking and kicking so much. Ooh, and that caused me to lose traction, which meant I couldn't slow down in time, and it got a little slideways there. Ooh, and a very, very wide turning radius. I mean, it had trouble getting around that hill. It handled that uneven bit right there really well, though. Here comes our first jump, and... Ooh, not pretty at all. Yeah, it's spin out. That doesn't happen very often. Just wondering if it doesn't have a lot to do with just the high center of gravity in this car for what we just saw there. Here we go to another jump, and... Ooh. Yeah, bounced on the landing, and it went on its side. I think we lost some windows with that. No? Surprisingly, didn't lose a window. Another jump. That one was a little bit better, but you can see that back end tried to step out on me. Trying to shave off some speed, but it bumped. And, yeah, things didn't go so well. Quite literally went downhill. This is not good. And it's all because I had a little too much speed, but that shouldn't have been an issue on any car, really. But the fact that this thing wanted to bounce and kick up on that one rock, well, it was ill-timed and sent it going. But look at it climbing right back up to the path, like a champ. That's kind of impressive right there, especially considering it's just rear-wheel drive. So the fact that it could have enough grip to get up that hill, pretty damn impressive. But man, it's already taken a beating, and we haven't even thrown it off the side of a mountain yet. It's not on purpose. Again, kicking up. Sorry, I wasn't able to get it slowed down because I didn't have all four wheels in the ground to get that good old friction to slow her down. Well, you know, what are you going to do? Definitely getting hard on the brakes so I didn't slide down that little bit there. Got a slight drift engaged around that one corner. Kind of impressive. Though drifting is actually slower. On two wheels again. This car is just a two-wheel maniac. Look at that. Just constantly wanting to tip in these tight corners. And we're coming down to the last bit here. Around the final bend. And down. Almost into an electric car in 3 minutes, 20 seconds. So... let's go back to the top of Mount Chiliad and see what type of damage it can sustain. Or withstand, I guess, would be more appropriate. I really wasn't sure what to expect on this vehicle. I mean, the original Roosevelt came out right around the time Rockstar stopped doing the really detailed damage models for cars. So I really don't expect that this thing's going to take a whole lot of physical denting and, you know, deformation of the panels. Maybe those front fenders, since they kind of stick out, might get a little bit bent, but I really just expect to see a lot of scratches and broken windows and lights more than anything here. It's definitely taken one hell of a pounding. It's just twisting and tumbling and flipping its way down the mountain. Kind of a bone-jarring, metal-crunching drop down. And it's just so tall, it just keeps hitting everything. Ooh, hit that tree hard enough that it took a little bit of my health. It doesn't want to stay on the wheels for this section, that's for sure. And just look at that. Every time I get it close to me on its wheels, it wants to flip back over. Just almost immediately. Oh, nice flip there. And I'm hearing some engine damage. Yep, there was definitely an engine rattle there. So all of these crashes is definitely beginning to take its toll on the old power plant up there. Though, can you really blame it? Look at how much it's hit. Did you see that right front wheel? And just how severely bent in it is? Yeah, that's a completely collapsed suspension up there. Definitely wouldn't want to drive this thing down the road after this. Thank God the mechanic works for relatively cheap. I mean, if you think about it, he works for pretty damn cheap. But as we make our final little push here, we're down 2 minutes, 5 seconds, and let's take a look at what type of damage we have. Most of the lights and windows are gone. The right front door is gone. The other doors won't close. Has some slight body damage on those fenders. Very bent wheels, and some moderate engine damage. And that brings us to the Vapid Benson, the first most voted for vehicle this week, coming in with 32 votes, and I need a drink of water. Much better. So, a lot of people aren't familiar with this truck. Matter of fact, when I talked to some people about trying to find it to test and wheel it off-road, they weren't even sure what truck I was talking about. Online, you only encounter it during one mission, and then during the Series A funding heist, when you're actually out here at the sawmill, the one where the Karen Technical is. These are the trucks you drive back, though they don't have the Cool Beans livery on the side of them. And in story mode, you only encounter them during the jewelry store heist. Though, in story mode, they do spawn in traffic. So you may notice up there at the top right-hand corner, it says Director Mode. Well, that's how I found it. I went to Director Mode with my online character, because you can do that, by the way. You just go to your characters, and online characters are choices in Director Mode. So you can choose your online character. And then I just drove around for a few minutes in the areas they kind of spawn. I found this one well, I don't remember where I found it, honestly. Kind of down by the police station, just before the police station, down by Lester's factory, at Los Santos Customs, down under that bridge. I found it just maybe about a mile west of that. Yeah, a mile west of that is where I found this one. And then, of course, to get it out here without any damage, you can teleport in Director Mode. You hit pause, you set a waypoint on the map, and you go to the interaction menu and choose to go to the waypoint, and you just teleport there. Needed another quick drink of water there. What I did not know about the Benson is it struggles its way up the hill. Slow but steady, but it's definitely steady. I mean, this thing is solid. This thing is all-wheel drive. I had no idea. I mean, I have done Series A funding, I don't know, 24 times for that heist. And usually I'm the guy driving one of the trucks. Mainly because I can dodge the train really quick. And I can handle the big truck in tight spaces. That's the route we take. But anyway, I never knew this thing was all-wheel drive, but it is. The front wheels, I don't know the exact bias between the front and rear drive, but the front wheels are driven. And that helps a lot here. And I think that was what made the difference. When I first got in this truck, I thought, nope, it's never going to make it to the top of the mountain. None of these big trucks ever do. They've got the power, but they just don't have the grip. You know, they've got that low-end torque. Not a lot of speed, but they've got low-end torque. But they just spin their wheels once they get in the dirt and giving it anything too steep. Ooh, tight turn for this long truck here. There we go. I had to back up a little bit. Looks like I damaged the hood a little bit with that, too. But once I got on the mountain, I noticed way back earlier in the initial part of the ascent that the front wheels were actually being driven. And so I looked it up after this, and sure enough, it is an all-wheel drive vehicle. So I think that's the saving grace for this thing, because look at it. I mean, yeah, this is definitely not, by any stretch of the imagination, a very fast climb up Mount Chiliad. But it's very solid, very planted. Just good traction, good grip. It's a good ascent, even though it's, taking, forever. I was thoroughly amazed. Oh, I think I took out Coyote, or whatever those are. They're coyotes, right? I think they're coyotes. And just keep pushing, full throttle all the way up. Did not have to worry about the wheels spinning whatsoever. What I am going to have to worry about, though, is just the short overhang, but the long angle that we have to get on this truck. And yeah, it instantly gets caught. It's just too long. So what I'm going to do is drive down just a little bit until I have room to turn around. And then we'll come back up and around to make that final push. I know this. Oh, we hit something else again. Another coyote. Sorry, guys. It's not intentional. Just didn't see you there. Even there, it nearly got, well, not high-centered, but that front end was definitely dragging. Get her turned around here, and then I'm just going to push. Oh, he lived! The coyote lived. And just keep pushing all the way up. Let those front wheels help pull it up. And, oh, run into a bit of a problem. Because it's just long enough that I can't keep enough wheels in the ground. Almost tipped it over, then almost drove it off the back of there. Just trying to get over this last bit of rock, and once again, just kind of trying to wiggle it off, because it is a bit stuck at the moment. Front wheels don't have a whole lot of grip, rear ones don't have any, but it's up in 5 minutes, 7 seconds. With it off-road, yeah, for the most part, that last little bit was a bit of a challenge. But that's not due to power or anything like that, it's just due to that long gap and that long wheelbase. What else is the long gap between the wheels? But that word is called wheelbase, Brandon. Anyways, time for a controlled descent. Which, to do that, because of the long wheelbase, I had to back up a little bit and immediately hit the rocks. Don't worry about that dead hiker. There was outtakes. Just trust me, there was issues. The first time I tried to drive down off the mountain, I got it stuck right down there. That's why I'm being really careful to get it lined up right here. There we go. Got past it this time. Now, hard on the brakes so I don't go flying off the mountain. And for the size of this truck, the brakes are actually pretty decent. Of course, there are no upgrades on this thing because, well, it's not a vehicle that you can drive into Los Santos Customs. In online, it doesn't even spawn. And in story mode, you can't take it in Los Santos Customs. It'll just say this vehicle cannot be modified. Yes, I tried. And yeah, sure, there's things like mods and all that you can use to upgrade, but the way I look at it is if the game doesn't naturally let you upgrade a vehicle, I'm not going to upgrade it. I'm just going to leave it as is. So this is a completely stock truck. And for completely stock brakes, and given how heavy this thing is, they're doing a good job of keeping it at a nice, slow, controllable pace. All right, I see the mountain lion, and that was intentional. Hate those damn cats. Hated them in Red Dead Redemption 2. Or Red Dead Redemption 2. It's not out yet. YouTuber leaks that he has Red Dead Redemption 2 early. No. Hated them in Red Dead Redemption. Hate them in GTA. Managed to go just a little too far off the edge. Got myself in a bit of predicament. Doesn't want to get enough power down to back up. I just don't know that it has the right gearing. Trying to get the back end lined up a little bit better to get some traction because I am losing grip when those back wheels go up and over the ledge. It's a much taller ledge than it looks here from this angle. Decided instead to do a burnout, spin it around this way, and then just use it all-wheel drive to just power out of there. On flat pavement, when you just hit the gas in this thing, it actually lurches forward with a surprising amount of speed. I was shocked by it. Matter of fact, the very first time I had it to the mountain, ooh, almost drove off the side. Gonna have to do a multi-point turn here. But actually, the first time I got one of these to the mountain was literally the first time I had really driven one in, well, over a year since the last time I did Series A, and I just forgotten. Or I had forgotten how much of a surge of power they have, and promptly smacked the Wilderness Hiking Trail sign and ripped the hood off the truck. So I went and found another one, teleported back to the city, found another one, and then, oh, look out, little guy. Oh, he didn't get out of the way. But anybody found another one, then teleported back over here with this one that you're seeing. I don't remember the livery on the first one. Oh, hey, there was a dune buggy. Oh, hiker down. Ooh, what a way to go. By a bean truck. Yeah. Yeah, definitely very heavy on these jumps. But I'm kind of just letting the engine do its braking. You can see I am flashing the brakes every once in a while. But for the most part, this thing's actually doing proper engine braking. Heavy on the brakes now, though, because I do not want it to flip over. I hear a plane flying by here in director mode. Too bad I didn't stop to look at it. But it's, you know, doing great on this control descent. It's just long, so it's hard to get around some of the really tight turns. Other than that, though, no issues whatsoever. Run, Bambi. Definitely doing better than the Roosevelt Valor, despite this thing being much more top-heavy. A much higher center of gravity on this thing, but it's keeping all four wheels on the ground. And it's just been easy. It's been slow, but it's been incredibly easy. And we're back down on the asphalt here. Just going to push around these final last turns. Ugh, that massive turning radius on this thing. But I am able to get some speed up here. We do need to hang out more. You're right, and Miss Hog here, lady. And we are down 4 minutes, 24, almost 25 seconds. So, how about we take it back to the top of the mountain? Had to get a weird camera angle here. And let's see what type of damage this thing can withstand. Oh! Already, there goes that signature Vapid hood. So, ow. The interesting thing about this truck is it has been in the game since it launched. So it actually has, as you can already see in the box on the back, it has a damage model. And it's definitely showing already. The back end is just collapsed in. Significant damage along the roof line. Look at that back end. Yeah, that thing is trashed. And of course, as big as it is, it's just going to hit every little thing. There's just so much surface area here, so it's impossible to squeeze it between all of this. I don't think there's a straight line left on this truck. Looks like even the mirrors might be dented. Oh, hit that boulder, decided just instead of trying to back up, I was just going to go around them. And there is some engine damage started. I heard a tiny little rattle. Not just the diesel sound. There it is. There, it was really loud, so it's already gotten worse. But yeah, again, can't really say that I can fault it too much. One, this thing does not have armor. I mean, the Roosevelt Valor had 100% armor. This does not. It has no armor at all. I'm surprised it hasn't blown up, honestly, as it slides its way against the train crossing. Great. Flip it back over and then try to get out from between these two trees. You can see there one thing that's really cool about the Benson in the jewelry store heist. In story mode, you actually drive some bikes up into the back of this. Yeah, the back end does come open, but you'll see it also just, yeah, you just heard it there. It closes itself when you start driving forward. It was really hard to see because of the camera angle. You might have caught a glimpse of it when it was still open. But as you start driving forward, it just closes somehow. Decided to see if I could fit under here after all of that fuss. I can't. So now we've got to go up and around. Ooh. Ow. And of course, instead of going to the left, where it would have been much easier to get out, for some reason, logic just ran away that day, and I went the more difficult route. Yeah, well, you can't win them all. Or any, sometimes. I do believe it will fit under the opening to the left. Ooh, that engine's in a bad way. It's not smoking yet, though, and that's what it takes to get the severe rating. I have slight, moderate, significant, and severe are the four classes in that order. People have asked about how I determine slight and moderate and all that. That's the order. Slight means a little bit. Moderate means a little bit more. Severe means we're in pretty, or significant means we're in pretty bad shape. Severe means, look out, this thing's going to blow up any minute now. And I'm stuck again. Trying to do a burnout, and I'll just leave that door here. Back down into the ditch. And oh my god, this truck is beat to hell. I think I just ran over a bunny. Didn't see the bunny, but I heard the bunny. And we are down 3 minutes, 28 seconds. Let's take a look at the damage. All the lights and windows are gone. The hood is gone. The right door is gone. Severe body damage, bent wheels, and significant engine damage. Hey, this was the 52nd Will It Off-Road, celebrating 1 year of Will It Off-Road. And I'll see you in the next Will It Off-Road. And until then, I'm Brandon, reminding you to stay vainglorious.